Hey neighbors, Handyman here with the hilarious cast of In the Red, and we are going to start up the latest episode of In the Red, brought to you by Initiative Coffee Company. Hopefully, you've been keeping up. If not, it's all on YouTube, so go and look. I don't know. Do it later. Don't do it now. Stay here now, and then later, go do the thing. But for now, just do this thing, and then watch those things as like a prequel to this thing, and then like it'll be great. Last time on In the Red, some stuff happened. Danny, what happened last time?
Inventory. Lots and lots of inventory. No, so we kind of just wrapped up the bandit camp, got all our horses in a row, literally and figuratively, and left a bunch of saddles to be extra nice to these people.
Sure, yeah.
And then along the road, we ran into an injured, perhaps now ex-bandit, that seemed to have a chonk taken out of him. And yeah, so now we're heading off into a mysterious town, possibly to collect one bounty and start another.
Sure, yeah. So it's late. It's kind of the middle of the night. You guys decided to charge through to get to the safety of town rather than try to risk another night on the road, knowing that there was this beast loose that had a history of at least removing most of the arm of one person, and you didn't want to be extra people of which the arms were removed. So
this is good practice.
Yeah, I think so. You know, you wanna keep yourself apprised of things. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. You're at the gate. It doesn't look like it's currently being attended. It is shut and barred, and it's dark out. So ready to go.
Do you have a name of this town again? Was it on the map, or was it
Winds Hollow?
Yes, Hollow.
Yeah, so Winds Hollow is the name of the town. It's both on. So you've picked up that because like, it's listed in like the bandits stuff you found, and the bandit that you just rescued was like, that's Winds Hollow.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
what
also
do you
you have a
identify his
bandit
name
with
as?
you. What's that?
What do you identify his name as? Oh, I should have taken my notes. Listen, kids, make sure you take your notes.
This isn't me being coy. This is me not remembering what you named him. I know what you named the husky horse.
Yes, it was Marengo.
I have that written down.
You know, the important info.
Napoleon horse, of course.
Baron? Was it Baron was the bandit's name?
Yeah, I have Baron written down, last of the guys from the raid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Baron. Yep.
Oh, okay.
In my super technical notes that I take. And like my half list of all of our inventory.
I have a master list in a Google
Doc.
Doc.
I like 15 scimitars, 15 light crossbows, and it's like plus more. I need to write these things down.
I have a lot of twos written with nothing beside it. I just know we got a lot of two of something. So, all right. So if we are at this front gate with our congealment of horses,
two congealments of horses.
Two congealment of horses. I guess we should unmount and knock on said gate. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure. You guys find like a part of wood. It's a wooden gate, so you just like find anywhere on the gate and start rapping on the gate, rat-a-tat. It takes like 10 minutes of like knocking and hollering for someone to finally come by and say, who are you and why are you here so late in the evening?
I look at our group and go, guys, we don't have a team name. We didn't think this one through.
I'm going to pull my hood up so that my demon horns are not going to immediately frighten this poor person.
Okay.
Let's see. We're I can't talk because I can't.
We're the horse merchants.
We're horse merchants.
Horse merchants. All right.
Yes.
Distributors of the finest horses in the land.
Spit says as he like pokes his head up in a bit of inspiration.
Yeah, among the sea of horses, just a little head pops up.
We're horse merchants.
Yeah, he kind of looks at you and he's like wearing a uniform, but it looks very old, right? It has like an insignia on it that has like a green sword held in like a gauntleted hand. But like clearly this is, if you had to guess, at least 8 to 10 years old, and he just that's what he's dressed as. And he says, like, it's like 4 a.m. Does it seem like a good time to bring around horses to sell?
No time like the present.
We were traveling through the night and we came across this wounded person. Points to our half missing arm person.
Mm-hmm.
And we were trying to get to town as quick as we could to help him get better as best as a person missing an arm could get better, or shoulder.
Yeah, I can even hold up. We've got those armbands, and I'm gonna hold them up and be like we were attacked by bandits, so we wanted, we were able to hold them off, but we wanted to rush out of there to make sure, they're not gonna come after us.
How many armbands do you hold up?
How many? I mean, we got
You have
quite
a total of like
them.
18 of them. 3 of which are like bandit captain armbands.
As many as I can fist.
He's just we found bandits.
We there was a lot.
cash.
It was a problem.
He immediately like starts unbarring the gate, and he's like, "Oh yeah, come on in. Sure, yeah. We'll get the. Unfortunately, the coffers aren't open right now, so we can't like pay out the bounty on those bandits at the moment. But we can definitely take care of that in the morning. Let's get you set up at the tavern. You have a lot of horses. It's gonna stress our stables a bit. We can tie them
We'll
off.
worry about that
Sorry,
in the
they
morning.
can stay outside the tavern.
No,
we'll just
outside the tavern. There was the
That's a parking lot.
I mean, sure,
There's like two
it's
groups
a
of them.
short-term solution. So yeah, we'll just tie them off to like the corner of the tavern, and hope
They're
that
already-
all 8 of them don't pull the same direction at the same time and knock down the tavern.
They're good. They're good.
How about a drink?
Yeah.
You know what? Drinks sound great. And he kind of leads you into a tavern. And he says, "This is Macy's. Macy owns this tavern. You guys should write that down because I am not writing it down. And you will have to remember that this is called Macy's." And he says, "This is Macy's Tavern. Macy works the days, but Gerald is here working the evening and night shift. So if you want a drink, you can talk to Gerald. Otherwise, that's a lot of bandit armbands. You know what? I'm going to cover your room for the night. There's not a lot of rooms in this tavern. It's pretty small. You'll have to like bunk down together.
We're pretty small too.
Sure. Yeah, that checks out." And he kind of like scans down and then like scans up at the tiefling and is like, I mean, collectively, you're like average, I guess.
You're like
as
two
an
and
average
a quarter person.
You know what? It's fine.
I can sleep on the
And
floor.
what was your
It's
name,
okay.
sir?
My name is I should have thought of this before. My name is
It's a pleasure to meet you.
my
guy's-
name
that's
is
canon
my
now.
name is Anton. I'm I kind of just man the gate here in town.
Anton, well, thank you so much for your serving us out here and arranging for us to meet Gerald. Thank you.
Sure, of course, yeah. And he kind of like tentatively takes the leads of these 2 like giant packs of horses and like ties them off in like different areas of the tavern.
Anton, do you need help?
Oh no! You've had an adventurous day in the evening, so I can go ahead and take care of this. you go ahead and get yourself a drink and get maybe a warm meal. Get yourself a room to sleep in, and then in the morning we'll deal with all of this. And he like gestures at like the bandit armbands. He says that.
Yeah.
He says, "Oh gosh, we left there was a cart out with you guys. Was that yours too?"
Indeed.
Yes.
Oh, I'll go get
Yep.
that too. Oh wow. This is kind of a
I'll
big...
come out and help
Yeah,
you.
actually, yeah.
Yeah,
I was
I
gonna
think
say
all of us-
myself.
Oh, okay.
I think
Yeah,
all of
my-
us just go out and be like, well, no one's touching Jeffrey.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of us have night vision, so we
we
can help
have to
lead
have-
throughout everything.
Oh,
so
sure.
we
that'd be
have
great.
to have mercy on this poor dude because
a
going
lot
to.
too.
Jeffrey's
He
gonna be
starts
like,
to try to lead Jeffrey into the gate, and Jeffrey's not pulling. He's just not moving.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like he's
No.
actively resisting. He just like you can't move this donkey if he doesn't want to be moved.
He's the kind of animal that if you put like the chest harness and leash and stuff on and tried to pull, he would just drag along the ground if you were strong enough to pull.
Yeah.
So yeah.
"Is that big if right
He
there?
kinda,
If you
he
are
kinda
strong
mentions-
enough."
He goes,
Yeah.
like, is this donkey made of stone? Jeez.
He's stubborn.
He's
He's
been
like one of
carrying
us.
900 pounds of stuff.
He's
Oh.
a special boy.
Oh, it's a lot.
We're horse merchants.
You're horse merchants.
They're horse merchants.
I
Is there a horse back there
That
too?
Yes,
explains
sir.
the horses. We'll figure this out in the morning. And he kind of just like leads you guys to the tavern to tie off Jeffrey as well. This cart, I don't know what you want to do with this cart. It is a town, so it's like relatively safe, but
We surround it with horses.
Yeah, I mean, does this tavern have, because there's an inn and stuff like that, is there even just a stable lane that we can park the cart in and then the horses can
yeah,
just
so
hide?
it's
Yeah.
a little bit snug, but you can manage to get it in.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that.
Gotta
He says,
side view mirrors in.
right. He says, sure, why don't I'll go and take care of your room, and then we'll get things going. This is
It was like 4 a.m. You said.
just about it.
Yes.
He leads you into Macy's, and guess Gerald is there, and he says, "Oh, latecomers to town, huh?
Yeah.
What
Is it early or late for you?
Well, it's about midday for me. I don't know what brings you to Wind's Hollow this late at night."
Well, we wanted to get here as fast as we can. Kiv, you actually put it really, really well. I don't know if there's something that you might be able to help us with, Gerald, but we've seen some things.
Something. I'm afraid you'll have to be more specific. There's a lot of things up here in Bell.
Where did Baron go?
Oh, Baron is like hunkered over in a corner. Like he's already got a drink. He didn't help you bring the cart in because like he knew he wasn't going to be very helpful. And so he's like kind of like leaning on his shoulder a little bit and drinking. He says, Gerald looks at you and says, "Is he with you guys?"
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, we rushed to town to try to find safety for him. I know that a lot of places are closed, but is there anywhere in town where we might be able to find some help for him? We've been able to stave things off for a little bit, but we want to make sure he gets some proper care.
Well, I suppose we could go and touch base with the alchemist. He does a little bit of herbalism, a little bit of alchemy.
That's convenient.
Probably not awake right now. Is he
Yeah,
stable?
no,
Can he wait till morning?
I look
We
at
look at
Morty and I
Baron.
go, I think so, right?
You just
Baron
imagine
is like
as he's drinking, it's like, psst, psst, psst,
like the stitches start to pull.
because he's having a light drink. It's just like causing everything to thin. And I almost wanted to do the whole like he's fine and like almost touch his shoulder and it's like ah, it's like crippling yell and it's like I'm so sorry, whack.
So as this conversation is going on, Baron like lifts his glass and goes, "Rah, rah. Fine, Like, he is clearly in some pain, but is not actively bleeding. It doesn't look like his arm is in current danger of falling off, which is good.
I hop up onto the bar, quickly scoop up the drink that I assume is mine, and I kind of like waddle over to Baron, and I just clink really quick while he holds it up, and I smile, showing a lot of teeth, more than I'm expecting to.
Right.
But
He
I
kind of
smile.
Okay.
and, drinks his drink very swiftly, and he says, "There's a room for us."
I do want to do one thing, kind of
Mhm.
point. I don't know if we've got like stuff. I would say gauzed in there. I don't think gauze is a thing at the moment. But if there's any clothing that he has
Wrappings.
there, like wrappings, I definitely want to replace that
Okay.
before he goes to bed. I don't know what means. I really don't care what the means are.
Yeah.
But like,
so
I do not want that to like fester up and then become a
Right.
bigger problem.
So, like, part of the medicine kit, I assume, and it doesn't really go into detail, but my expectation as part of the medicine kit is
some
like
ointment and stuff.
packing material for like big
Yeah.
wounds.
Yeah.
And that'll be a medicine check, and like if you start to do that here, Gerald will be like, "Hey, maybe save that for the."
Yeah, that's
the
kind of like what I was,
room.
like my expectation for the night will be. Like
Sure.
if like it is 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Like when that's done, when we are settling down, that is my goal. Because though he was a bad guy, he might have a lot of information beyond what he has. And I don't think a guy dying of like sepsis is a really good idea, wherever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So like, that's a really unfortunate way to go out.
Sure. Yeah, that's definitely something that we can do kind of when we get there. Is there anything else you want to know from Gerald?
I was going to ask if Anton is going back to like watch the gate, ask if I could join him and talk to him.
He says, "Well, I'm kind of the only gatesman, and I was sleeping, but I'm awake now. So if you want, we can go watch the gate and make sure that none of those bandits that you fled from are following."
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
I think it's probably better that you're awake for your job. Possibly.
I mean, we don't usually allow coming and going in the middle of the night. Like normally, like the gate
fair.
closes at 10 in the evening and then opens at 6 in the morning. And
Yeah, I've got to wait till they serve breakfast.
yeah, it's kind of a special circumstance because you have recently been in the presence of so many bandits. And he kind of
Well,
looks at the pile.
I'll make it worth your while if we
Mhm.
can go and talk.
Sure. Yeah, it seems to be already worth my while, but I'm always interested to hear people sweeten the pot.
Yep.
He kind of leads out toward the gate.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
just I wave past him. I'm like, we're just appreciative of everything you've been able to do for us already. And like my voice fades off in the distance as they keep walking away, because you do keep walking away. Anyway,
I look at
so
Go ahead.
so Baron was asking if we have a place to stay for the night, and I like excitedly like nod my head up and down, like bouncing on both feet. And then I turn over to Gerald, so I go, "So who else is here besides you and Macy and Anton?"
What?
I mean, who else? Like, we're not from around here. Like, how big is this town? And I mean,
It's about.
are you and Macy the ones in charge
of the tavern? Yes.
of the town?
Of the town? No.
Oh, well, who is?
Oh.
And I head tilt after that actual pause.
Everyone's so drunk
Sure.
at this hour.
This is you'd be if you're looking for like a legal authority in town. Mayor Ornath is probably who you'd want to talk to.
Arnath. I like that name.
I'm
All right.
assuming he's not awake right now, right?
No, he would not be awake currently. That would be too much to ask, unfortunately.
What?
For sure.
quick question about the town.
Mhm.
I mean, we definitely were surprised with the amount of people we were ahead of, or had, and like I kind of do the mimicking of what happened with all the the armbands. Like, wow, you have so many. It's like kind of that same motion. Like, have you had a problem with that, or have you have any other issues? And like, kind of like a very serious moment. And then I'm like, all right, time to go to bed. But like, I'm trying to get like that little chunk of info.
Sure.
Like, but not necessarily mention the word mention this monster that they dealt with.
Sure. Gerald kind of leans in and he says, well, there's bandit camps on either side of us on the road, so it's tough to get goods in. Most of the caravans that come through to supply the town, they get robbed, frankly. Usually the bandits will let some of it through just to make sure that there's not an active group that goes to eliminate them.
Maybe that won't be so much of a problem anymore.
Oh, and he looks down at the armbands. He's like, oh, yeah, probably. That takes care of that. Might
I'm out
take
of the
care of
room
that
anyway.
camp,
So wait, is there another one on the other side of a town? There's another bandit camp around here.
Yeah, my understanding is they're of the same kind of clan of bandits.
Does that check out with our map? Like from like our my memory, like does that check out like, oh, there's another group that's supposed to be over there, or like
Not from anything you've seen so far.
so it wasn't on
Like
our
maybe
bandit
like
map
you
that
have.
we took.
No.
It was like
It seems
we took
like-
up one side.
Yeah, it seems like so. This town is clearly like on the road, and the road leads up to like a fork, and from the sound of it, like there is one large group of this bandit clan that kind of patrols the road east of the town, and that's largely the ones you've encountered, as well as like you have like the rotation maps for them, and then there is another like equal group of bandits north and west of town that you have not encountered yet, based off what Gerald is telling you.
Yeah. And that sounds like pretty big trouble. I mean, what has Windy Hollow done to protect itself?
Wind's Hollow. Well,
Yeah.
we built a wall,
Mhm.
and we closed the gate, and there's not a lot to be done. There's not like a police force up here. It's been a long time since the Empire took an interest in Bell. It's kind of wild out these ways.
And what of supplies? Because you say that a lot of folks who supply the area, they get robbed. I mean, we were really nervous about that too, because we're
Yeah.
first merchant.
Well, folks that we try to supply a lot on our own. We have some merchants that stay off the roads and know safe paths that give the bandit caps a pretty wide berth.
Yeah.
Takes a little bit longer to transport goods that way, but all
At
the
least
goods
they're
make
safe.
it. So
Yeah. Are any of them right now in town, or are they all kind of out and about?
they're not. There's not like a predictable schedule for those
Yeah.
traveling merchants. They kind of go all over Bell, and
I mean, we showed up at 4 o'clock in the morning, so
That's
yeah,
true.
I get it.
yeah. Some folks make it as far east as the Empire and bring back, fine
Empirical
things
things.
from the Empire. But frankly, it's tough to predict.
Do you have certain resources that are required from the if we took care of one side, are you going to be able? I mean, since we did like the east, are more goods responsible? Like, let's say wood comes from the east. Are there any goods that are from the north and the west that you are not able to get because of this camp, or is it is it pretty universal throughout?
Well, I mean, the Eastern Road leads to the Empire. So it opens up the gates. It opens up the gates for trade. I don't know. I don't know if you've fully taken care of that camp or not.
Yeah. What?
But if that camp has been eliminated, we can get some goods from the road that way to the Empire. It's kind of general, all kinds of stuff. But typically, the merchants from the Empire aren't. They don't give the best prices and things. You know, they think a lot more of themselves than they think of us out here.
Yeah. Like, how much would they
on the
charge
thing.
for like a crossbow bolt?
I mean, I don't know if anyone would buy a single crossbow bolt, but usually a case of 20. When the Imperial merchants get up this way, it's a gold to a gold and a half.
Wow.
We have a deal for you.
Yeah. No, thank you.
What do you guys primarily produce here? You know, when you're
Yeah.
trading back,
Survival.
Yeah.
you trade survival.
We largely, you know, we don't engage in a ton of trade.
Mm.
It's always kind of a nice, almost like a holiday when merchants come to town. We try to be self-sufficient, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the roads blocked off, it made it pretty tricky to rely on goods one way or the other. So
Didn't have to get an export.
Mm-hmm.
exports, well,
Beyond the survival fact, like you're like, hey, I've got a surplus of this. This is what you normally trade.
sure. Well, we can get we have pretty good access to some wheat from the farms to the south. Sometimes some livestock comes up this way. You're not the only horse traders that are around.
What's their names?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
What
they're
are they-
horse traders.
What
The
are their
horse
names?
traders?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't buy
Trying to weed out
horses.
the competition.
Does there happen to be a carpenter in town?
There is a carpenter in town. I don't know if that's like an export we have, but most folks here are pretty handy with, you know, we're, like I said, we kind of do things on our own. So as a community, we, you know, if the wall gets knocked over, we put a wall back up, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I mean, it's really awesome that you've been able to, you know, take care of yourselves. You mentioned like needing to be able to buy things from the outside. How do you generate your own money? Because obviously everyone's taking care of each other, but when others come from the outside, how do you pay? Like, do you mine here too?
Do we mine? No, there's
Yeah.
there's some mines up north. Let me look at the map. Hold on, sorry.
No worries. And I scamper up to the bar and look over his shoulder at the map we're both looking at.
Oh no, he's not looking at the map. I, as a GM, am looking at the map.
Guys, we should make it the next day soon.
Yeah, I just really quick wanted to ask
Mhm.
Anton if he knows anything more about this chimera.
Oh.
About the Chimera.
Hmm.
Well, I know it's been marauding the road a bit. Yeah, that's the one good thing about those bandits is they took care of it. I didn't realize.
Well-
it was-
Right.
So
I didn't realize
you
it was still
know-
alive. If I'm honest.
Yeah, so
Well,
that,
wasn't there a
that
bounty?
friend that we came in with who was missing a good portion of his arm, that's how they took care of it.
They threw that poor man to a Chimera.
Yeah.
Probably to a certain degree.
I'm gonna need a deception check from you at the moment.
Gladly. 27. That's a natural 20.
That's
What?
Geez, those bandits are worse than I thought they were.
Yeah, they're real bad. Glad we got them.
Glad we got him.
Well, they're, you trade one monster for another sometimes. Those bandits are gone, but now we're gonna have to
With horses.
figure out how to deal with that Chimera now.
And that's where we come in.
Oh, I suppose if you can handle a crate's worth of armbands worth of bandits, you could probably handle a chimera. Yeah, there's a pretty healthy bounty on it.
How much is the bounty on it?
40 gold.
40 gold?
Are you missing a 0? I don't say that. That was me.
You're not
saying that.
there.
Yeah.
This is the 40 gold and whatever you find. I guess spoils go to the victor. He's been
Spoils like
been eating
chimera
people
dung?
He's been we've got lots of adventurers have gone in there trying to kill it and none have come back out. So presumably there's
Would you not
some
think
gear
that
in there.
raises the price?
That is a raised price. It started at 20.
No wonder
Wow.
someone hasn't taken care of it yet.
40 gold is it's kind of a lot around here.
Yeah.
I suppose a lot is a relative term depending on where you're coming from. Okay. Have you ever seen this chimera before?
I haven't. No.
That's good.
Has anyone in the town seen them?
Well, presumably that fellow you came in with.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if he's from this town or not.
Well, he's here now. I don't know.
I'm looking for someone with a
stories.
slightly more reliable memory and who's not drunk at the moment.
I mean, there's always stories about people who saw the chimera, but you never know if there's truth behind them or not. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm curious if this alchemist knows anything about said chimera.
He might.
okay.
He might have it. I bet he's got some interest in it, to say the least. I should clarify the bounty to kill the chimera is 40 gold, but a beast like that has some parts that could be very valuable to the right buyers.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
And then, like I said, whatever you find, wherever it is, some adventurers, several. I mean, he's been around for 6 years, so I'd
Yeah.
imagine he's collected quite the pile of would-be heroes.
6 years and it's 20 gold to 40.
double.
I'm not gonna say that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'll just say, I don't think this chimera is gonna be much trouble to you for much longer, and just bid him good night and go back to the tavern.
He kind of waves and then looks out over the gate. He says, "I don't know why I do this. I can't see in the dark," and then heads back to his
go to
house.
sleep.
It's just this is a waste of my time. Inside the tavern, there is. He says there's not a mine nearby. I mean, there's some iron mine to the south, near where some of the farms are, but it's a lot easier to move wheat than iron.
Okay.
We don't get a lot of. I'm not sure that mine's even in use these days, if I'm honest. Goldholm used to have a gold mine off to the northwest, but I don't know if anybody even lives in Goldholm anymore. It's been 5 years since we've had any word from them.
Gotcha.
All right. Well,
Was there a major event that caused that?
These last 10 years around here, there's major events all the time that nobody ever hears about.
I think you're only so far away. I mean, I assume you might have the scoops, bruh.
I mean, it's over a week's travel. Word hasn't reached here. We don't get a lot of road travelers, if you know.
Yeah, they're pretty isolated. Okay.
Need mark on
Yeah.
the map for us where it is.
Goldholm?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will. I'll update the map this week. Yeah.
Cool. So maybe turn in
And the
for the
mines
night.
too?
And the iron mine? Sure. Yeah. And some of the farming fields too. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna have the most detailed map and freaking. We're gonna be cartographers. Big plan. We're playing you, Brian. We're just gonna be selling this map. That's all.
All right. Do what you
Yeah,
gotta
let's-
do.
horses.
You gotta find 11,000 gold, dude. I don't care how you do it.
Yep. Because 40 ain't gonna cut it for a Chimera.
Well, I can just only imagine it's like how like 5 seasons from now, it's like, so we are successful cartographers that have major shops in every single major city here,
And horse traders.
and we're horse traders. And he's going like, God, I could just see this campaign went so off the wheels so fast.
Jake, clearly,
Yeah.
clearly, we have not in the 6 years we've been playing D&D together. We have not been playing enough, because if we turn this whole campaign into running a business and shopkeeping, I would be all goddamn for it. Are you kidding me? My main AL character's name is Ron the Handyman Hutchinson, and he's a
Oh,
carpenter first and foremost. So if you decide that you're gonna make 11,000 gold selling maps, I am
Off of
all about it.
Slim margins and huge profit taking. Yeah, I completely get it. My bad. That
Like,
was my bad.
Kiv,
Don't
Kiv
get
is
it
gonna
twisted,
be
sir.
Kiv is just gonna be standing behind the counter of wherever this shop is the whole time, just holding a sword, like waiting for battle, and it never
It
comes.
never comes. Kid's just
Nothing
devastated the whole time.
happens.
I came here for adventure. I could have ran a shop at home.
Yep.
Yeah, let's call it a night and
Sure.
get our sleep so we can talk with everybody in the
We'll
morning.
find the town people.
And
Yeah.
and that's where I will patch up what's his face before he goes to his face.
Sure, make a
Goes
medicine
to bed.
check for me.
Okay.
Get that 1d20. He's gonna be like net 20. Yeah, he's 100% now.
As long as
Dead.
it's not 13.
That is a nat 20. And you can take this on the screen, and
Yeah,
I
believe you.
can't.
That's
It's
fine.
gonna. Okay. Well, he said it. He called the nat 20,
Yeah, it's a
and
big
it
deal.
just happened. 26.
He's not gonna tell you you're gonna roll a 3. Like,
Well, he
26.
could. No, you can say 13 and just roll a 13 and be like, no! And
Yeah.
it's like the same
Yeah,
session all
exactly.
over again.
So with a 26, you manage to like unpack the wound first, and then you notice some of the tissue is like starting to turn, and
Ew.
it's a good thing that he is drunk, because it gives you the opportunity to separate him from that turned tissue and kind of stop that from continuing. And then you repack the wound, redress it, wrap it up, and
Are you talking about like turning? We're talking about like just. We're not talking about zombies. We don't want.
no,
Zombies.
not zombies, but like the,
Okay.
the tissue.
I
is
feel like it is a fair question
Sure,
in a fantasy
yeah.
setting.
I
Necrotic.
mean, yeah.
Necrotic.
the
No,
chimera
it's-
causes
yeah.
zombification.
Right. It's
That is
starting,
a new
it's starting
thing.
to turn necrotic, but it's not like turning him undead. No, it's just turning him like the tissue is turning
It's no good.
dangerous.
What a story that would be if the chimera turns people into zombies. I'd be like, we got to get at least 50 gold.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Come on.
It's at least 50.
And tips.
Brian's like, that's a good one. Why didn't I think about
Right.
that before? Causing zombification? What?
Excellent.
This isn't Cholt.
Excellent. This is how it happens.
Well,
Um,
do they cause petrification?
Chimeras? You don't know.
No. Who knows?
It's his favorite.
Oh, I did actually have a question for Geralt before him.
Mm-hmm.
2 questions.
Okay.
Do chimeras cause zombification?
Not to my knowledge, but I don't know much about chimeras.
The other question is, oh, that's less good. I was gonna say, did he tell us how long this thing's been around?
Not you guys, no.
I would say, how
Kiv
long has it been
knows.
around?
I don't know, 6, 7, 30
Have there been
years. I don't know.
scary stories been told about this?
How long have
I
you
mean,
been around?
I think that's actually a very important question for me. Is has there been stories like nighttime bed stories like you got to eat your grit veggies or the chimera's gonna get you?
Oh, sure.
And like
Absolutely. Like
that'd be-
that's one of
I-
the fairy tales that like keeps kids in line in this area is like the chimera will get you if you wander out of town. Like that's how they keep their kids close to town.
the quick side note: when you see me rounding the corner to go to bed, you all I don't know if wherever I am, but I'm doing it to someone. You guys gonna all see it, or one person's gonna see it, or maybe less. I don't really know. You're gonna see that the plan look that happened when I was on top of Rango. I was like, "Waken me, heroes," and like that's all you see out of my face, and like that may be the reason why my sleep apnea either is really like not happening, or it's like the deepest sleep apnea you ever had, where it's like just rocking the place from. It's just like causing the
Could
building
go
to,
either
like,
way.
Like it's like the comical cartoony, like the building like it like bows in because of all the air getting sucked up. It's like
this poor tavern.
So yeah, you guys, right before you go to bed, you notice that Morty clearly has an epiphany. Doesn't bother to share that with anyone and goes straight to sleep.
That might be the scariest thing that we have going on tonight, guys.
The night goes uneventful. You wake up to the good smells of like food. You know, there's some kind of meat, presumably some kind of porridge.
Free continental
types.
breakfast.
What's that?
Free continental breakfast.
I mean, I wouldn't call it continental. It's mostly local, but it's free.
That's fair.
It's with the room.
Yeah.
And there's like it's like a corn grit kind of situation with some meat. You don't really. You could ask, but
Y'all got any hot sauce here?
Yeah.
At
No.
least spice level 2. I mean,
spice level 2. I mean, it's porridge. Like,
anything. Oh, dang it.
for breakfast.
Pepper? Any pepper?
I mean, he like gets some like, black
cracked
pepper,
pepper.
out. This is, here.
I don't even like open it up just to like do the flakes. I just take the whole thing off and just
Screw the
dump it.
You're
Yeah.
eating like whole peppercorns. Yeah. that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
That checks out.
I chew on those things like gum.
So
Gross.
while having breakfast, I try to I try to remember as much as I can about like what a chimera is.
Sure.
and, like,
Make
try to
an
recall information
Arcana
about it.
check.
Arcana, okay.
You are advantaged on this.
I am advantaged. Uh, 23.
Sure. So
Oh.
chimeras are like hybrid or like blended creatures that are created through magical means. Sometimes that's like intentional from a wizard. Sometimes that's just spontaneous. There's an area of like powerful magic that 3 creatures are in, and strange things happen. But by and large, through some magical means, chimeras are created as a kind of a homogenization of several, typically beasts, but occasionally like dragonkin or other things as well.
All right.
Typically, that magic gives them some sort of like breath weapon type abilities. They are often pretty quick. Most of them fly. Typically, they're like medium sized, like human sized, but like quadrupedal. You happen to know, because you've seen this one, that it was moving bipedally and also is huge rather than large.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So a little bit of knowledge on it. Do I know of any like weak spots or anything of that nature, or what it might
Depends
be
on the
weak against?
creatures involved
Okay.
in the combination, right? So if like
Okay.
if it's like a blue dragon and other creatures, you presume that like the draconic qualities carry over, right? So like
Okay.
it would be resistant to lightning damage, those types of things, but without having seen like the color of, like you saw it at a distance in the dark.
Yeah.
So it's tough to know like the coloration or anything like that, any of those details.
Okay. Well, just wanted to do a little bit of racking my brain while having breakfast in the
Sure.
morning. And I share this information with everyone so that everybody knows.
Oh, okay.
you
Because
would-
like I'm just here shoving food in my mouth with my hands, and like peppercorn and porridge is all over my face, and I go like, "What?"
I imagine it just looks like you have several beauty marks because it's like corn grits
Yeah, I was gonna
with
say, yeah.
peppercorns embedded.
Yeah.
Blends right in.
The other thing I'll say, Dimitri, is you know that like there is value in the parts of a chimera, right? So they're like alchemically and herbally. There's a lot of valuable components that can be used in various like tinctures and mixtures and potions and those kind of things. So if you can't get the bounty you're hoping for on this chimera, there's a chance that this alchemist that you're presumably going to see today will be interested in some of those other aspects.
Okay. If anything, we'll just chop it up and use all the stuff for ourselves.
For me, yeah, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, so kind of speaking of that, like obviously we're all there, and like I pause in a moment of clarity, like literally mid shove and whatnot. And I look at my hands, and so I hop up onto my bench and I turn over to Baron and just like push my hands towards Baron's face because he's probably having a hard time eating.
He is surprised when corn grits is shoved in his face, and he kind of like takes leans back and he's like, I appreciate it, but I've still got the good arm, so I think I can handle breakfast. I think I can manage eating on my own. I've been doing it a while with like both hands.
I look
So
over
I
at
feel
Spit and I'm
like-
like, you're being very helpful.
Yeah.
Don't
I
mind
appreciate
him.
the concern though, Spit. I really
I lower my hands and like a droplet of grits just falls on the bench and be like, oh, okay. And then I just slam both
eat it,
hands
yeah.
in my face.
Yeah.
he is clearly a bit hungover, as you might expect. If you were missing most of your arm, you'd probably try to drink some of that pain away too.
Yeah.
In a fantasy setting where, like, prescribed medication is not available.
Yeah, we should probably go see the alchemist
Yeah.
about his problem and potentially our
Our
chimera problem.
opportunity. Yeah.
Yes.
It's very
Yeah,
good business
opportunity.
speak, so
That's another way to say
it's not
problem.
a problem. It's an opportunity for growth.
Mhm.
Yeah. Is that what you guys want to do, or?
I do want to keep an eye out for anything that is. This is kind of more in line with Lady of the Woods, with everything that I've seen thus far. I do want to look out for anything that is. Why am I blanking on the name for people that florists? Florists or anything that deal with that kind of nature.
Mhm.
I do want to look out for that kind of thing. If there's anyone that's like, I've got flowers, and I'm like, oh, flowers. Like, I definitely do want to look out for that because I am quite uncertain with what's happened, and I had a very large just like a major moment in my life, and I'm like, okay, that was the last time this happened, and I had roses and thorn bushes coming out. But I definitely, that's something I am actively looking out for.
Yeah, that's fine. Make a
Before we
religion
head
check
out,
for me.
is Macy working now, or is it still Gerald?
It's still Gerald.
Okay.
Morty, actually make me a religion check as Dimitri tells you about this chimera.
I want to know about this bipedal chimera, to be honest. 16. 13 up to a 16.
You get like kind of you get this strange sensation that whatever this creature is, when he's describing to you like what a chimera is, you get kind of overwhelmed with the notion that like it's not right? Like whatever this is, it's not a natural thing, and it makes you just generally uncomfortable.
Is it? I mean, I know you made me to roll the religion check. As he was describing, like, it is things sewn together. I mean, do I naturally feel like this isn't right, or do I feel more so like it's something that from deeper within that's like, yeah, that's not a thing? Beyond the normal, like,
You're not sure.
Okay.
With that roll, you're not sure. You just feel inspired to like take on this bounty and make this not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
You feel an inspiration to do so. Whether you like follow up on that is totally up to you. But like you just get a sensation that this is probably a good thing to try to take on.
I think the first thing I would like to do is kind of whisper to Dimitri after he's done, because I'm kind of in awe of him saying I'm like, wow, he does know a lot.
Mhm.
Wowzers. Maybe I didn't. I should have paid attention more. and I didn't.
Wowzers.
Wowzers.
That's 100% a Morty thing to say.
And I say, so I was like, so do we? I don't necessarily like the existence of this thing. Do you think that we should get rid of it, or is this more like we should wait? Or I mean, I don't really care about the bounty as much, but like, I mean, you and me were kind of from the same cloth, kind of in the same. If by means, I mean like you're over here and I'm over here, and then we just like were kind of a cloth that was once together. And like you hear him start rambling about that, and then he pulls himself back to center, and he goes, and then say, I something just feels off about having this around.
Yeah, they're like an unnatural occurrence of things, and so we should probably, especially if it's been terrorizing, if it is going to terrorize the town, we should definitely take care of the chimera to help these people out.
And I say, you know, you always got so much, and I think my comfort will be like kind of petting Bear's head.
Mhm.
Who's like raised his head over my shoulder. I'm kind of just like, it looks more like a crazy nervous tick. It's like, that sounds good.
We can totally handle this.
This is fine. This bipedal monstrosity. This is okay.
I'll start shooting it from the town here, and I'll just start hitting it.
Outcasts, and I'm like, bless.
You've got plenty of bolts and such now. I think you'll be good.
We just keep dropping bennies, and then you just keep getting more of them.
Yeah.
We're good. We're good.
Which, by
This
the
is
way,
what
you
we-
currently have 9. So
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
you had 10 last week and you used 1.
So, and as we start to go find this alchemist, can I ask Gerald where the woodworker is, or the wood,
And where the alchemist is.
and where the alchemist
He
is,
like
so we don't go
points
just
across the
wandering.
street, and he's like, "Well, Roscoe the alchemist is over there."
I do want to check also, Mr. Jeffrey, to make sure everything's safe. And
Yeah.
actually, I really don't care if everything's safe. I just want to make sure he's safe.
He is.
And the
He seems
There
well
we
taken care of.
hell to be paid if somebody messes with Jeffrey.
There's like a
From
bundle
Jeffrey.
of like
From Jeffrey.
right. There's like a bundle of like straw and hay that was just like left next to him with the assumption that he would go ahead and like
Oh, he's
Take
too
what he
fat
wants.
right now. He's too full.
Oh, that's right. He had like 2 good berries.
He's
Yeah, 2
the
good
most
berries.
full right now.
Yeah,
He's
it's
like,
not-
I'm still
I gotta
okay,
be
guys."
honest, it doesn't look like there's a lot from it missing. It looks like a
It's
pretty
actually
solid bundle.
It's a buffer zone between Jeffrey and everybody else. That's actually what it is. And when he gets out, it's problems for everybody else.
So yeah, Roscoe's is across the way. You can look out the window and there's like a hanging signboard that has the letters RA on it. He says in terms of like woodworkers, there's like a wood shop that Aaron is in charge of. We're all everybody in town's pretty handy around wood tools, but Aaron is probably the best. He's the one that
All
does most of the framing and the design when we have to put up buildings and whatnot.
Would he be good at crafting wagons, or like a nice cart?
Crafting. I mean, we don't have like a wheelwright. That's pretty complicated. I know. I mean, he has a wagon that's been for sale for a while, but
Oh,
nobody really has
Ah.
the money for it.
Mhm.
well,
Yep. Understood.
all
Or
right.
the need
Well,
for it, frankly. That's why he's
Thank
trying
you,
to
sir.
sell it. Yeah. All right. Anything else we can do for you while you're here at Macy's?
I think I'm good to head out.
Any-
I'd like to find that
any-
alchemist.
Any local like rumors been going around that we should know about? Any local jobs we should know about? Minus this chimera. But anything else?
Not particularly. I
Rumors,
mean, the
any-
chimera is usually the big one. Rumors? I mean, there's
Rumors,
not.
yeah.
we don't really get a
What's the
lot of word around here.
juiciest?
The juiciest?
The one that
Some-
you go,
some-
dang, that's thick.
Sounds like there's some real nice tomatoes down on one of the farms to the
Clearly,
southwest.
we are not talking about the same thing.
What,
And-
let's go visit.
And
let's go
I
visit
kinda
Roscoe's.
Yeah.
I kind of like at that point, like like as he's talking about the juicy tomatoes, like I like the puff of smoke behind me happens, and like
now
I just like
here's-
Irish goodbye.
Here's
So-
the thing: if he would have said like like peppers or something, Kiv would have been like,
Exactly.
What?
Yeah. Juicy
aren't
peppers.
juicy.
All right, let's
All right, so I
travel to
wave
Roscoe's,
goodbye
guys.
to Gerald, and I
Yeah.
like reach into my pocket and I toss him over a silver coin. Thank you so much. And I take another
Yeah.
silver coin, pop it in the air, and just gulp it down.
How far away from you are? How far away from him are you when you do that?
How far away is the door from the?
Oh, you're
Gerald.
at the door when you do it. Like
Yeah,
20
like
feet.
it was
That's
sort of
fine.
like the wave goodbye kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah. He nimbly grabs the coin you flip him, and then you eat the other one very successfully.
Yep.
There's
and I
not a
just
lot
look
of-
back at him, wait, and then I just shrug, and then I go away.
There's not a lot of like traveling required to get to Roscoe's. It's literally across the street. This is not a big town. There's not like a lot of like side streets to navigate here. It's like 2 streets by 2 streets, like some
Tic tac
like
toe board.
more or less. It's just a big hashtag. Hashtag wins hollow. What?
I was gonna say we can play a game, guys.
was
You just
gonna say
leave
we're
horses
totally
in like X formations and the circles.
We're totally gonna do it. Yeah.
That's gonna happen.
Okay,
"Oh my god."
this sounds
I'm gonna go see the alchemist.
like Morty, you notice as you walk over to the alchemist that he has like there's like planter boxes in front of his like shop. That
He is an herbalist.
What kind
have,
of
like,
what
herbs and like briars and those kinds of things, and then there's,
compared
like-
to the swamplands that I'm from, the plaguelands? I mean, is there anything that's like jumping out as stuff I've never seen before?
There's like weird flowers that are in the shape of like Spit's head. Vaguely. Make a perception check.
And meanwhile, I
Spit's
hop
head?
over next to it, and I like pose
Do,
next
do
to
I
one
get
of them.
advantage for like looking at Spit's head and it at the
You've got
same
a
time?
comparison.
Dang, that looks like Spit's head. Is that named after Spit's head? Oh, jeez, that's another one. 26.
Sure.
What?
So these are like
the
essentially
way
like
now.
snapdragons, right? Like they're small, little like they're flowers shaped like dragon heads. And you watch and you sit there and you look at it for a little bit, like comparing it to Spit's head, and you look and very suddenly and almost like imperceptibly quick, you notice this like fly flying towards Spit, and the snapdragon just like snaps it out of the air.
We gotta get those. That's a natural repellent.
that
Because
that
we have
sounds
a
like
festering
disaster
wound.
for bear.
We have a festering wound over there, and I point to where Aaron or where Baron should be, but he's like, it's like a cutout of almost like the chalk drawing of where someone
There's a
should
fat
be.
head of
It's like-
Baron.
Yeah.
It's like Baron's just like the invisible character from like M64. It's just like, but he's not there yet because you haven't unlocked him yet. That's where he's at right now. I'm like, we have a festering wound in that guy, and it's like doink doink, and I'm like, we gotta get those. I gotta get those. Those are cool.
Nice.
And do I have any knowledge about what those are? Are they a spice? Are they like? Are they very
They're a
traditionally?
flower.
Unbeaten?
They're
But-
just a predatory flower.
Is that natural on this continent?
On the continent, you're not sure because you haven't been like all over the continent.
I mean, it's definitely
Um,
not in the Plaguelands, though.
No, it's not in the Plaguelands. It seems a bit like this climate seems to be a bit cool for like these tropical. Like you would guess that this would be kind of a tropical or like a warm climate plant. And it seems a little bit cool up here just based off the flowering alone. But you're not positive. Presumably they wouldn't be like
The cool, you said cool
cultivating
tropical.
them if they were. What's that?
You say it was like a cool tropical.
Yeah, you get the idea that like they wouldn't be cultivating them if they could naturally occur here. So this is like intentional.
More like invasive.
No, just like they happen to be like.
They put him there.
That's just it's like it's like a perennial or something like that. It's something they just have.
Think of it like he has like his greenhouse where he's growing his own stuff that's not natural to the area.
And you said it was named a snapdragon. Is that the name, or is it like a snapdragon?
It both looks like and is called, to your knowledge, if you had to describe it as in a name, you would call it a snapdragon. And if you were to ask Roscoe, they would probably tell you the same.
I also like it for the fact that it looks like
we haven't even gotten the store yet.
And I'm about ready to do 20 questions.
We're just like flower.
20 minutes, or was it 60 minutes on this flower? And I'm like already ready to like abduct it and just like walk away.
This is gonna be the whole next chapter of Kiv's journal. It's just us just staring at these flowers. And
are there any other flowers you want to tell us about
confused.
so we can just nerd out about right now?
No.
Oh.
Great.
But there's no like rose or thorn like.
There's some briar. There's some like briar ground cover.
Briar patches.
That could flower with roses. You're not sure.
But it's not portable.
It's not currently. I mean, you could take a clipping. Possibly, you would have to talk to Roscoe about that.
Yeah.
Like this is a shop that they run, so presumably, like there is a way to get access to these things.
I can't witcher their things and just start taking their stuff.
No, probably not. That's probably frowned upon.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in and see if the door is open.
It is.
Great. I'm gonna walk in and what's this guy's name? Roscoe?
Roscoe. It's Roscoe's apothecary, or Roscoe the alchemist.
Roscoe's alchemy.
Just walk in, Roscoe.
You look. Everything is a little bit squat. Like it's tough for you to like get a good look around here because all of the counters are like. At first, you think halfling height. And then you look over and you notice a kobold come out from behind the counter and he says, "Oh,
yep.
What are you doing? How's it going?" And
I scamper in underneath,
just
like in between Kiv's legs, and I also yell like an echo, "Roscoe!"
Yeah, he goes, "Oh, hi!" And hi. Roscoe has he's like blue scales, and then he has like a little bit of a silver like edging on all of his scales, and this strikes you as being odd. His coloring is much more vibrant than you would expect, but who knows?
There's so many cute small things in the vicinity.
To
Can't contain myself.
He says, "Oh, customers.
Need more."
Yeah, potentially. We're looking for a couple of things.
Okay.
Some healing goods.
Healing goods?
Yeah. And some information.
Oh, well, let's start with the information and then talk. Well, can you be more specific on the healing goods component?
And then I'm going to reach back.
"We have a friend."
I'm going to reach back and grab Morty and pull him forward and be like,
"Explain."
Ooh, this one's got a lot of energy.
Explain.
I say, "Well, Mr. Roscoe, I got this thing that we got. How much are the snapdragons out front?"
2 gold apiece.
Talk about our friends.
So anyway, how about the healing? How about we make a deal afterwards? So I like to be healed. I'm. Let me restart.
Please do. I've lost track
And,
of
like,
where you're going.
And I'm like, I look over at something and so, hi, I'm Morty. And I reach out a hand.
"Hi, Morty. I'm Roscoe." And he shakes your hand.
I try to keep everybody healthy and safe and
Sure.
tip-top shape. I would really like to potentially refill my supplies, and I open up one of my healer's kit that's I've been using. I say I would like to refill my supplies and then some, because I got to make sure everybody's staying alive around here, because that's how everyone stays safe.
Sure.
Or some, and then I say or something.
No, that makes sense.
could you help me out, or maybe teach me some stuff that I could do and that I could maybe like become more efficient with this? Because I don't want to be, I want to be a local supporter, but I also want to be efficient with my whatever I use to make sure these goofballs know that they can count on Roscoe for the best stuff here.
So you're looking for goods, or you're looking for me to teach you things? I'm confused.
Both.
Oh, well, the goods I can sell you. If you're going to be around a while, I could teach you some things, but it takes some time. You know, it's the lesson.
Like some downtime?
Potentially like some downtime. Yeah. Like
that sounds like something we could
do. If you had some time to spare when you were in town between like doing other things, I could show
healing
you
these
some
goofballs when we're safe.
When
here.
you're safe, yeah.
Then definitely, I think that is something we can agree upon.
All
so,
right.
what can we do? How could I replenish my goods? Is there any local things that you would say are?
Yeah, how
could
much
replicate
are we
that?
talking?
That
How
too.
many uses have you made of the healing kit?
I have utilized. I am at I'm at 14 total out of the 20. So I've used it 6 times. So it's technically down 6 out of the 10 charges of 1. I got a full another 10.
Sure. This is well. You've got most of the stuff here. I suppose, you know, I could top you off for I could give you the supplies for a gold piece.
I mean, that's worth it. That's
Yeah,
only
I
a
mean,
gold.
also like,
Wait.
okay. I mean,
Wait.
yeah, Morty.
Wait.
Don't we have a lot of silver we can
Wait.
Also, we
trade
have to
off?
get paid out for the bounties.
I'm aware. I say, how about this? How about a gold and a half?
Morty, that's
How
not
about-
the right direction.
No. Wait. Gold and a half. 4. Topping me off. And I get to take one of your snapdragons.
Okay,
You
but
know
do you know how to care
No,
for
I'm
it?
coming. That's what I'm here for. I've got to listen.
All right. Well, you can have one of the snapdragons, but let's get settled in town, and then we'll talk about how to take care of the snapdragons. And you can have it, but I don't want you just like taking it and dying. So like,
Yeah.
I think
are
I would
sure
open
that you
that
can-
book, and I would show him some of the drawings I'm starting to do
Mhm.
of the forest and like the nature around, and they like, this is very important to me, and it looks like his face, and I like literally kind of like point at his face,
And I
I'm
turn
like-
my head,
and-
I open it, and like again, I dilate my pupils.
Sure.
and like you see like the
you, like, open the
snapdragon.
book next to his face, and then you look over at his face, and Roscoe has put his face next to Spit's face. He's like, "Yeah, I know."
He's like, I get it, man.
That's why I like it so much. He's my friend.
Okay,
It's like carrying around a portrait of him.
It's like
sure.
I gotta make sure he grows big and tall and strong.
Okay. So I'm gonna cut in and just take Morty and just very gently place him behind me, and then
Just like lift him
talk-
up.
yeah, and then talk to
You're good,
Roscoe
Marty.
and be
You're
like,
good, Marty.
and then I'll be like, so we heard that there is a chimera in
That's
the
what
vicinity,
the stories say. Yeah,
and there's a bounty for it.
that's
Now,
what I'm told.
My question is, hypothetically, if someone were to capture this chimera, do you have any use for, would you be interested in purchasing any pieces of the chimera?
Yes.
Like, how much we talking?
What are the parts you're looking for? I say as I peek my head underneath Kiv's.
Yeah.
Cloak.
Well, I suppose if I could give you 15 gold for the whole carcass, and then I'd break it down myself. Otherwise, if you, I could give you 5 gold per gland if the glands are producing energy, right? If it's like a fire gland or a poison gland. I could give you 5 gold per gland for that.
Mhm.
And then if it's got like a stinger, I can give you 5 gold for the stinger. Hearts are always valuable. They can be used in various potions. There's a lot of magic trapped up in chimeras, so you can use hearts and brains as like catalysts.
Binding agents.
Soup.
Well, catalysts for like
Soup.
magical properties and potions and stuff.
Kiv doesn't know.
I mean, I guess you could eat them. That might be interesting.
Squishy bits.
Okay. So I'll follow up and ask him. It sounds, at least from what you're saying to me, it sounds like you've only really heard rumors about this thing. Have you ever seen this thing before?
This particular chimera? No, I've never seen it.
No. Okay.
A lot of folks say they've seen it, but
Like
none of
who?
the stories are right. People passing through, the kids talk about, the kids in town talk about, oh, I saw the chimera and it was scary and I ran away.
Yeah,
but
I'm
none
sure
of those
everyone
stories
has a
match up.
different version of what
Yeah.
it looks like, and sure.
Some say
Okay.
he's a goat, some say he's an armadillo. I don't even know what an armadillo is, but that's what one of the
Yeah.
travelers said.
It's better
Like a
than a
pangolin.
legadillo.
Someone said a dire beaver. I don't know what that is. I imagine some kind of big
That's
beaver,
problems. That's what that is.
but- Oh,
Okay. Is Baron with us?
Baron is. Do you want Baron to be with you?
Mm.
That would be convenient. If not, I can go find him.
Yeah, sure, he's with you.
Okay.
He's just across the street at work.
I'm gonna ask him. Do you remember what this chimera looks like? What different parts of what creatures he has, he or she or whatever.
Well,
has.
I was getting away pretty good, and then it stung me, and I got paralyzed for a little bit. And then had like kind of like a spit head, but like less humanoidish, almost dragony, but not quite dragony. Had a head like that, and then it had like a wolf head, and then it had like a bull, like with horns. It was like burm kind of thing.
And I mirror his actions and
Yeah.
kinda headbutt him too.
Spit knows he's clearly seen the thing.
Oh wait,
Can there be 4 heads?
Okay, so then
Can there?
I mean, I'm saying, I
yeah,
don't
I mean
know. We don't have- is
chimeras, different
could
kinds
be.
of
Like-
chimeras.
it-
Can,
I mean, I've heard about this 3-headed one. Is there potential to have more?
Roscoe looks at you and says,
Don't write this
I don't
down.
see why not. I mean,
Zombies.
presumably, like, if enough magic energy is in the right place and there's enough beasts around, presumably all of those beasts could become. There could be 30-headed chimera. I don't know.
so with his description, I'm going to turn back to Roscoe and be like, okay, so for that, like a really big version of what he just described, chopped up and taken care of for you, what would you pay?
Are you proficient in chopping up and taking care of that for me?
Of course.
I don't want like crappy glands. I want like
Oh no.
well harvested things.
We'll make sure that
Um,
it's all sliced and diced exactly how it needs to be.
All the valuable pieces, I could give you, I don't know, 50 gold.
Doubling.
Uh-huh.
All right, now we're getting
Looks
there.
good.
We're getting there.
I actually come back to the conversation beyond that and go, wait a minute. I don't get how this is. Wait, so you're saying that if just enough raw magic and what is magic the right word here to say? I mean, I guess that's more so the setting. Is that the right word even to say, or just
Yeah,
energy?
I mean like arcane energies, right? Like so arcane magic in this setting is the process
I just want to make
of-
sure I'm like saying it right because like
So
I know you were like
largely, yeah. So arcane magic is the process of manipulating the natural state of the area by redirecting the energies within it, right?
Okay.
So, if you use a lightning bolt spell, you're redirecting like the
energy.
energy of air. Like everything goes back to like the primordial planes, right?
Mhm.
So the elements in the area, you enact arcane magic by manipulating those elements in various ways, and that is why wizards are like in such high regard, right? And that's one of the reasons that sorcerers are kind of looked down upon, because they like innately do it and don't like train themselves to have discipline. And a lot of times like the big oops moments happen because like sorcerers get a little too big for their britches sometimes and try to like manipulate those energies in ways that aren't safe or predictable.
So I guess I'd say it could be an unintentional redirection of energy that could cause a chimera to be made. Is that sound off base?
Or intentional if a wizard did
Right.
it.
But if
Yep. Or
I
a
mean-
giant fireball in the sky.
yeah, I was gonna say in terms of, and I like go like that, and like I point very directly at the fireball. That's like I would say directionally wherever it is.
Sure.
In
Oh, the fire moon, you mean?
Yeah.
The fire.
I mean, maybe. I didn't really. That
I was
could
gonna
be.
say because there's been, I mean, I'm assuming in the Plaguelands too. There's been random spots of energy that's happening.
Yeah.
There could just be like a cow and like a duck, and then some. I guess I'm like, with the paranoia that's happening for me, it's kind of like, hey, these things aren't great. We shouldn't have these things. But also the natural order of things, like it could just happen at a coincidence versus a wizard that's going like chemical X, sugar, spice.
I mean, literally, like you get the idea. It could go either way, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
All right.
there's no way to know with any.
Thanks for
like,
entertaining that. I just wanted to get a little more
right.
info about that.
Yeah, there's no way to know if any specific chimera was like spontaneously created or intentionally created without like knowing the history of that particular chimera.
All right.
Okay.
So now that we have this info, should we go find the woodward?
Wait, does Baron need any attention right now?
Yes, he does. He's missing a shoulder.
Baron says, Roscoe says, I can look to Baron and see if we can. It's going to be a slow road to progress here, but
What do you plan to do?
Yeah, any help's appreciated.
well, we've got some salves and some ointments that can keep the infection risk low.
Baron, I look at Baron. I go, are you okay with this?
He kind of like looks at you and then looks at Roscoe and he's like, yeah, sure.
I just kind of, I mean, you changed your ways, right?
Yeah.
Might not want to say that out
Roscoe's
loud
like,
in this
Roscoe's like,
town.
what do you
I
mean
don't know.
change your ways? That's weird.
No. He, things happen in his past, like everyone does. I used to be in the swamplands or in the plaguelands, and now I'm here, and I want to heal people, and that's not necessarily what happened in my past.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
Ooh. I can't help you.
That is a 15.
Sure. Roscoe kind of like glosses over it and he's like, yeah, that's fine. Whatever. And Baron says, I mean, this fella seems to know what he's talking about, so it's as good a place as any, I suppose. I don't really have. We're not going to
pat
be able to.
Baron
we're not
on
gonna
his
be able
good
to
shoulder and be
afford-
like, be good.
Sure. He says, we're not going to be able to afford rooms here forever, but for the time being,
Be
we'll
good.
figure it out.
We've got horses.
Sure. And are you guys going to move on at that?
Did we want
Yeah.
to visit the wood shop and or the
Yeah,
mayor's
let's-
place?
Let's
Yeah,
go to
I'd like
the
to get that
All of
bounty.
the above.
Sure.
yeah. Let's go to
You
the
guys,
mayor's.
you guys can head over to the mayor's, and as you head your way there, why don't we take a quick 5-minute break?
Yeah.
And then we'll come back in 5 minutes and keep going with more In the Red. And we're back with more In the Red. You guys are headed to Mayor Ornath's house. It is also the place of government, I guess, as far as government goes in this very small town that is very isolated from the rest of the region. And you're at his house. It's like a 3-story. Looks like 2 stories in an attic from the outside. There's like nice gardens, steps up. There's a porch. It's nice.
How physically different is it from the rest of the town?
That question.
You know, it's not very different, if I'm honest.
Cool.
Truth be told, like it looks like it's bigger because there's like civic like work that happens here, but it's not that much bigger than like the shop fronts that have people that live above or behind them. You know, it's about the same size as like the blacksmith and like the carpenter, the wood shop. So it doesn't seem like he's like lording over anybody, if that's kind of what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna knock and see, if there's an answer.
Sure. A human male comes to the door and he says, "Whoa, you." He like takes a measure of the 4 of you and he says, "You must be the 4 that came in last night."
And I just hold up the fist of bandit armbands, like,
you've come for business. Come on in.
Indeed.
How's
Make
your?
that
You have a wounded friend. Is he gonna be? Everything okay there?
He's being treated.
yeah.
Roscoe's looking after him for a bit.
Great.
We were told by Gerald that he's the guy to look for.
Gerald told you
And
right.
yeah, and Gerald told us that you'd be the right person to talk to too, to be able to learn more about this. And I wave at the bandit armbands, as well as a chimera that's out there.
Sure. So he like gestures to the armbands. He says, "As far as this, there's a standard bounty on bandits. It's 2 gold per bandit armband, 10 gold per bandit captain.
Yeah, we got a few of all of that.
As far as the other, yes, there's a chimera. It lives nearby. The bandits usually take care of it.
And what is the bounty on that one?
40 gold.
And what do you need as proof?
I don't know, just something to prove it's dead. I don't know. You could bring the body back, I guess. It's pretty big. You could bring
Yeah, we were thinking of bringing the body back just to kind of piece up and sell for what's useful. So
Oh, you know who might
shouldn't
be
be an
able
issue.
to help you out there is Roscoe.
Roscoe. Yeah, I
yeah.
say it at
good
the same
old
time.
Roscoe.
Yeah, he might be looking for some of those parts.
Yeah.
If you can get that
Okay.
chimera down, that's you should talk to Roscoe. Have you talked to Roscoe?
Yeah.
Oh,
we
sure.
briefly
So
met.
you-
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how our
yeah.
friend got to him too.
Yeah. So
I do want to look at Kiv and kind of silent. I do have a question about my race. Because Plagueland halflings, are they separate from Ghostwise?
yes.
Okay, so I do want to quietly say, like, do we keep some of the bandit captain things if we're gonna take care? If we decide to take care of the people to the northwest and just have them as like we are the bandit captains, like we are, like, do we keep some of them?
We'll just blow them up.
Okay, like there's like a moment of like, all right,
That was my assumption.
Yeah.
Is we're gonna get the money that we need out of these things, and then
keep going.
and then if other bandits show up, then
Do you want to keep 4 of them for us? This is at least the smaller guys.
I'd rather get the gold, but that's
Mhm.
just me.
Okay.
If the group decides they want
Yeah.
to do something different, I'm fine with that
He
too.
kind of like holds
So-
his hands out to like receive the armband.
I think I think I might like for a second be like, hey, I was considering to take care of the other group of guys that have been troubling you. I just didn't know if like tactically that made sense. And then I tap and like just I like look at Kim. I'm like,
And so as he holds his arm out, I'm like, you said it was 3 gold per bandit armband or 2?
He like points to a sign on the wall that is clearly labeled bandits 2 gold, bounty bandit 2 gold per head, 10 gold per captain.
Gosh darn! I should have minor illusion.
He said,
3.
"Oh, did I say 3? I meant 2. Unfortunately,
I meant 7.
Yep. And do we turn them into you and get the money from you, or do we need to take them elsewhere?
Nope. I can get in the safe here, and we can even up." And he kind of like starts counting them out.
Yeah, I was gonna say we lay out the armbands and kind of separate the larger ones,
sure,
the more official looking
15 standard bandits and 3 bandit captains.
Yeah.
So it's 30 and 30 here. Sure. And he kind of like steps away and he goes, "Give me just a moment," and goes into another room. And you hear like the sound of a safe.
Do you quick question? Do you have larger pieces? And gold, like platinum. I don't know if I don't know if that's beyond me. Like, because we have so much weight.
Sure.
Yeah.
He says,
Or maybe you have gems, or maybe can we cash in certain things here? Because we have so much, and we would like to make sure that we are keeping care of the people that we take that are here for us. We definitely want to travel lighter. We do have
like a bank for an exchange.
Here.
He says, he like comes out with a sack of like 60 gold and he goes, "Give me 1 second." He goes back.
Pulls out like 1 ruby. And he's like, "Here you go."
you think you've earned a ruby? That's adorable.
He's like, he pulls out 1 piece of slightly polished onyx, and he's like, it's this big.
He tosses a small gem pouch at you, at Morty.
Yeah, that works.
And like you open it up.
I immediately hand it to Kiv. I don't open it. No, I don't open it. I'm like, this is probably better in your hands.
Yeah. Kiv, you open it up and there's a moonstone and a tiger's eye inside. This is you should be able to get 50 for the moonstone and 10 for the tiger's eye.
Would you
make an insight check?
Who?
Kiv.
13.
Sure. So you look at that moonstone and you realize the 5 gemstones that you took from the bandit camp are also moonstones.
Oh,
neat.
Okay. That's good to know.
Sorry.
I was going to say, is there a bank around where we can exchange large counts of pieces for other pieces?
Or a gem master of sorts?
Would you be willing to trade that? Because we are trying to travel light as possible.
Sure.
And we can't. And if Jeffrey is traveling to Jeffrey's our wonderful mule. If you didn't know, and he's a danger to society. If he, I'm just kidding. He's not. That's a lie. That was a joke. Haha. No, he's.
I'm standing behind Morty. Going,
it's like. I kind of say like, for us to be able to travel lighter is more important to us, because then we can bring more back to you. Because if we are able to bring back, let's say, all kinds of goods, if you're looking for, and I kind of like leave open a blank spot for him to add a noun.
If we're looking for,
like, is there anything that Wind's Hollow is in desperate need for?
Trade.
Like, of what kind?
In general.
Okay.
If you could get a trade caravan running through here, that'd be great. I don't know.
Well, we just dealt with we dealt with the whole western area, so we're planning on dealing with
Eastern.
Eastern. Is it? Did I just write down the notes wrong?
Could be.
I probably wrote down my notes wrong. You know what they said, and awfully taking care of. We're taking care of it. We just want to make sure you're set.
Sure. I mean,
that would help us if we're traveling lighter.
You know, it's tough. We used to be real. Our chief export used to be furniture. And
that's
awesome. There's not a lot of call for fine furniture in Bell these days. There's not a lot of call for much of anything.
Does that check out? Like, I mean, not necessarily. Like, I don't want to insight check this, but like, does that check out region wise? Like, you're saying there's to the south there was like wheat and there's also some iron. Like, does that check out, or does that make sense?
There could have been a lot of other places that were around. and they got destroyed by the Great Fire.
He says,
That's- yeah.
10 years ago, everything stopped.
Yeah.
Gave
No,
him
we
too
did.
many options here.
There was a lot of opportunity.
Okay.
Every town throughout Bell used to be putting out thousands of bushels of food stuff a week. We fed the empire. We fed the whole continent. 10 years ago, all that stopped. There's still a couple of farmers here and there that grow enough food for what's left of the region. But it's not much worth anything these days.
Mm.
We just want to make you profitable. Not only profitable, successful, and your town successful.
Well, gosh, if you take care of these bandits and take care of that chimera, we're already in better shape than we were, aren't we?
Yeah, because that opens up your roads quite a bit, right?
Well, if the roads
Would we
opened up, trade would be a lot easier.
Would we at that point be considered friends?
I can't speak to friendship or not friendship.
No, I think that's a
But,
fair thing to ask.
I
think in terms of friends of similar opinion of making sure the place is safe for everyone.
Are you asking him, if I do this for you, will you be my friend?
Shut up!
He says, "Look." He says,
I
"Look."
kick you in your shin. And I'm like, shut up! It's true.
Yeah, and I look back at that and I turn back over to the mayor and again I just dilate my eyes.
Sure. He says, "Oh God, that's adorable."
That's
Look,
Awfully
Oh,
adorable.
dear God.
look. If
I can't
you
resist
here's
Can this please
here's
stop?
Here's the shakedown, right? You take care of this chimera problem, and we can talk about providing you opportunities in town.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give you.
Sounds like friends.
You don't look to be the kind of folk that have a lot of places to hang your head, but you take care of this chimera, and we can go a long way to help you out with that.
So, Mayor, so we did, as you see, we traded in up all these armbands. We also happen to have quite a bit of equipment from the bandit camp.
Horses.
Yeah, I was gonna
Does-
say and
does-
horses.
Does the town happen to need a bunch of scimitars and light crossbows?
To protect yourselves.
And a new force of mowing grass.
He says, "Here's what we can do while you're off. If you're gonna take on this task, and try to take care of that chimera, I'll have my people do an inventory of what you brought with you. We'll come up with what we think is a fair price for the lot, and if you agree, we'll give you that. And if not, you're welcome to try to sell it somewhere else."
Mhm.
I
Why do you
think.
have to be so reasonable?
Yeah. Why do you gotta be so nice? Be like.
There's not a lot of it doesn't really behoove many people out here.
Behoove. He was gonna say it, and I point to all the horses like out in the distance.
Yeah, I get that.
We're
That's,
horse merchants.
Sure. It says it doesn't really behoove folks out here to be around the bush. I'd rather give a fair deal and be done with it
So
than try to.
I do want to be
negotiate.
clear
I respect that.
in this situation. If we do or do not take Jeffrey, if anything were to happen to him, I think we would be most devastated.
Yeah, I mean, we'll take care of your. I mean, as it stands, you have 18 horses and a mule. And,
19, I thought.
It's
Is it-
17
No, it's-
regular horses.
17
and a
plus.
steady horse.
Plus a chop.
And a mule.
Marengo.
Yeah.
17 unnamed horses, Marengo and Jeffrey. He says, "Look, we'll take care of your animals."
I feel like he wants to say horse problem, but I feel like he's not certain if it's a problem or not.
He
It's
like stumbles on
horse.
the word beasts, but doesn't want to like throw that out there in case you all have a negative connotation with that word. He says, "We'll take care of your animals."
We would love for you to find loving homes for all of them, whether it's in the nicest of place or not. Our thing is we want to
We're horse merchants.
be horse
You say that an
merchants.
awful lot, and it seems like maybe you might not be horse merchants, but
No, I'm pretty sure that's
This
one
is now
year
we had to
I'm
uphold
pretty
this every
sure.
time we end up Winshull, and at Winshull we're gonna have like 13 to 15 plus horses, and it's like we told you.
Where
And
are
just
these things
like
from?
just the equal amount of horses.
Now
just
we've
like,
set the expectation.
have to continue, and then it's like every time like, hey, do you need more horses? Like, no, we still have 19 of the ones you left us last
We
time.
only left you 18 last time. Yeah, one of them had a baby. I don't know.
They just keep happening.
We'll make sure your animals are taken care of. You might, I don't know. You might want to take.
Who?
If you're gonna drag a whole chimera back here, you might want to take Jeffrey with you. But
I mean,
Yeah.
Jeffrey will probably come with. I'm just saying, if
And
Jeffrey's not treated like a celebrity, I don't know what happens here.
Can we secure ourselves a room in the tavern to store our other
Can we
our valuables?
trade you all this stuff for a house here? I don't say that. I just,
Yeah, please don't.
But we just need a room to store our other valuables so that we don't have to worry about losing them, because some of that stuff is heavy. But
Sure. Yeah, we'll inventory it. We'll move it to one of the We'll move it to your tavern room as much as. I think
Yeah.
it'll all fit. It got here on a two-wheeled cart, so
It's true.
it should all fit in the room. It might fill it, but we'll see.
we have a
how
cool
things
gold
go
room,
with it.
guys. We got to reinforce the gold room.
Well, yeah. Do you have like a I know that Dimitri was asking about this earlier. Do you kind of have like some kind of bank exchange in town where we might be able to open a savings account?
Earning that
there's
0.1%
the safe
interest.
in the other room. That's where most of the
Mm.
folks in town, if they're going
This
on a
is
trip
like-
or something, I sell.
We're
them
gonna create a
gems and then they take
developed
'em.
Bell economy.
Yeah,
Let's do this.
This is like a downgrade from a small Wild West town. Like they
Yeah.
don't even have a bank.
I mean, you get the impression that like the mayor's office functions as a bank
Mhm.
for all intents and purposes.
Do we have the same coinage as they do?
He's
Yeah, so everything is imperial coin. Through.
Okay, I didn't know if it was
Yeah.
like
So-
like
We-
whatever those guys' names are for life. I
we,
don't know.
we get the we get the sense that he's trustworthy enough that if we dump this, let me
This
look
is
at my
like
notes.
Evergreen, or wherever the first Fallout 4
Almost
city you gotta go to
1,200.
is.
Let's see, that's
That's a lot of stuff.
1,100 coins. That
I mean, make an
he would-
insight chat. If you want to know how trustworthy this guy is, there's a roll for that. So make an
Yeah,
insight check. Like,
I'll help with that.
I will also help. Can you triple?
Well,
it?
it's only
Just kidding.
one.
I'm kidding. I know.
I'll
you
I'll
can give
make a
him
roll just
you
to
can give him
see.
a guidance.
I do give him a guidance.
What
well,
does that do?
plus
D6?
D4.
in
D4.
addition.
He's a shady person.
18.
Yeah, you get the idea that he's pretty straightforward.
Cool.
He did say it wouldn't behoove anybody to.
He did say
He,
that.
he can read a room like nobody's business. He says, "Yeah, we'll go through your stuff and we'll come up with a fair price for it."
Oh, another person that Gerald talked about was Aaron, the woodshop man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, it's Aaron, the woodshop lady.
Oh,
That's a
Aaron
name
with
I
an
gotta
E, not
change.
Aaron with two A's.
That's whoopsie that one.
well, we haven't visited the woodshop, so
Sure.
our apologies about that.
She's why we were pretty well known for furniture, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Connects a lot
Alright.
more now.
If anything, we'll connect
How did I put Aaron?
after all that. So, do you know which direction this chimera is in? Like where its den is?
East of here, I presume. My
Just east?
understanding
Okay.
was the gentleman you came in with was attacked
Yeah.
by it, so he might know better than I do.
Yeah.
How old is this guy? He said he's a human, right?
He looks 50s, 40s, 50. No, late 30s, early 40s.
All right.
Well, any other tasks around town that you need outside of like obviously the bandits and the chimera? Anything else that might be of assistance?
Off the top of my head, not particularly. I can come up with a short list that might be helpful if that's what you're looking for.
No, no.
but-
No.
Looking for
But
local
it's just
quests to make us more notorietable, or notoriety.
help the lady cross the road.
Yeah.
I don't know if you take care of this chimera.
Pass
it'll
this
be
note
pretty,
to this
It's
other
the big
person.
one.
pretty notable as it is. So
Yeah. Aside from yourself, Roscoe, Aaron, Macy, and Gerald, are there any other important people in town that would be important to get to know?
I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but to some degree, I am a politician. All the people of Winds Hollow are important people that you should
Of
get
course.
I don't do that.
Okay.
I want to do that,
Um,
Do you have any favorite people?
to know. I couldn't pick favorites. That
Is-
would be
is there-
unmayorly.
Is there a weaponsmith?
or
in
blacksmith
town?
in general.
Oh, blacksmith? Yeah, there's a blacksmith in town. His name is Siegfried.
Nice. Good
Yeah,
blacksmith
We're gonna
name.
flesh this. We're fleshing this town out right now.
All right. So I'm observant. I look around the mayor's office. Is there anything that appears to be of particular note, like that signifies any particular relationships? Maybe anything that's in thieves' writing?
Nothing in like thieves can't.
Yeah.
Make an investigation check.
Investigation. Not the one I wanted. That is an 18.
You notice that his hearth is empty and like clean.
Uh-huh.
It's been pretty cool the last few nights. That seems peculiar. But other than that, maybe he hasn't been staying here, or maybe
Mhm.
he's just fine with being chilly. You're not sure, but it strikes you as odd that there wouldn't be. It doesn't look like anybody's used it in months.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay. Well,
What's
Off
the
to
quickest
find
way to
Mara?
errands?
Aaron's, if you go down the road here to.
Where are we in this guy's house? In this 3-story building?
So
Where-
it's
where
like
are we?
the main front sitting room. Like that's where he does
Okay.
most like town business.
Have we heard any other noises during this whole conversation? Have you heard any like footsteps around? I mean, I don't want to push too much, but like there hasn't been anyone else in this building.
Make a perception check.
Sorry if that was a little metagamey. It's just like
I'll help with
I-
that, because that was the role I wanted to
Sure.
make.
so advantage. That's allowed. It got worse. 14.
Yeah, you haven't heard anybody like shuffling around. It doesn't sound like anybody's upstairs.
Yeah.
All
All right.
Is that? I guess from the push further, considering the people that we've encountered, who have been all super nice and just like homey, home. I guess that'd be the word. Like just very just nice to us. Does that seem kind of off with the location that he's a mayor? Like, I don't know, maybe our backgrounds and everything. Like, does it kind of seem weird that he's alone here?
It's a big house, right? Like it's a pretty big house for one person. Maybe that's because he's the mayor.
He's a
and he
widower.
lives
Or
there,
Yeah,
where-
I was gonna say.
you know.
Yeah.
You're not really sure
But
the
even
political
still,
structure.
it's-
Like if there's like an election, or he's just like more
guy.
like the village manager than like the mayor. Like it's just his job.
Yeah.
Maybe he was involved in like the founding of the town. You're not positive. It does seem.
Is that something out of the question that you think mannerism wise to ask? Like, hey, we've not been around here. How long has this town been around, or is that inappropriate? I mean, I guess that's more of
I mean,
a
I think-
mannerism question than anything else.
How
I
long
think
is
we
it-
can ask.
Go ahead.
I was
Okay.
gonna say, I whispered to Maury, like, I think we could ask these things, but let's
Be careful.
do what we say that we're gonna do, and
Yeah, make
And
an
come
insight
back.
check,
Friend.
Morty. Morty, make an insight check.
Okay. That's a 14.
You know, it strikes you as like these might not be inappropriate questions to ask, but you seem to think that like you'll get more engaged answers
Once we do something.
once you do something for the town other than like show up having conveniently dealt with some bandits. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Yep.
That's fair.
Um,
That's really fair. Like, I mean, to get more background, you gotta do stuff.
Yeah,
with them.
I mean, it just strikes you as like you haven't really like this town doesn't owe you anything right now.
Well,
Not
not anymore.
I mean, yeah, you were paid for your work, but like even that, like you stumbled over bandits and happened to keep some stuff,
Yeah.
and they happened to have a bounty on them, right? It's not like you came to town and were like, "Oh my God, we'll help you with these bandits," and then went out and
Right.
sought out the bandits.
Exactly.
So you kind of get the idea, like the more you do for the town, the more like realistic it'll be for you to get good information from them.
Okay.
All right.
To
Well,
Aaron's.
I guess we should go to Aaron's.
Sure. Aaron's is a couple of like a block down. Like most of these buildings have like awnings that kind of sway. You get the idea that like maybe there's a bunch of like home houses here, and it strikes you that like maybe they have fields that they work that are outside of the like palisaded walls. Like maybe they ride out and during the day and then come back in, because there's not enough like shops here for 200 people, right? And there's not enough like shop assistant work to go around either. So
Yeah.
it strikes you as probably like they're just like farmers or like agriculturalists that head out, do their work, and then come back at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And largely you get the expectation that that's a product of like the walls make them safer. A block down, you see what is clearly, there's like wood lined up out front. There's you hear the sound of like sawing going on inside. This is clearly Aaron's wood shop.
All right. Well, do we see the cart? Is there like a cart out front that has a for sale sign on it?
There's a wagon. Yeah, there's a
wagon?
2-axle wagon. Not like I guess it would be more a cart than a wagon because it's not like covered or anything, but it is about twice the size of the one you have. It has a yoke that can manage like 2 draft animals rather than just the one that your 1-axle cart can. It's got a sign out front that says wagon for sale, 100 gold pieces.
That's an expensive wagon.
That is an expensive. Is that a good? I guess more like, is that a good going rate for a wagon? Do we know?
You don't know.
I mean, it's the best going rate you've seen.
But I guess
Yep.
what I'm asking in this comparison, I mean, great, is like for the area, it's like, well, there's not many wagons here, so like that's of course why it's here.
Yeah, it's tough to know. You know that she's a pretty good carpenter, but
Well, comparing to like maybe the Plague Lands, is there anything?
oh, wagons are unheard of in the Plague Land. Like it's mostly
Oh.
like sleds.
That
in
this
the
is a
Plague
commodity.
Lands. In the Plague Lands, you would think of it as a
Yeah.
commodity for sure. Like there's
Yeah.
carts and
Guys.
wagons all over like the Empire.
Guys, just to let you
Um,
know, this is 100 gold. This is worth it,
Hmm.
or something.
Mm,
I think I should probably bargain for it.
we'll hold off on that one because I was just interested in seeing what the price of the wagon is. So we don't need to go talk to Aaron right now. We can wait for that.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking after they inventory all of the weapons,
Mhm.
we might be able to do like a trade of things.
Maybe.
Because if that
Yeah.
wagon's been
It-
there for a while. Go ahead.
Don't we need something to carry things back? I mean, also like, isn't like the Chimera a little far? And
I assume that you would be taking your cart.
oh, okay, so all
like-
the stuff is
yeah.
off the cart now.
Ornath
Like they're not.
is like as soon as you
Okay.
leave Ornath's like house, he sends some people that were apparently in the house, but you didn't hear them because you sucked at it, to go and like unload the cart, so that you could use your cart to get the Chimera back.
Okay,
Yeah.
and they'll
That's cool.
inventory that stuff while you're gone.
okay, that's cool.
including the gold though.
Minus most of my arrows. Because I need the
Sure.
arrows.
Yeah, you need the arrows.
Well, I was gonna ask more so, are they gonna include the gold into their like? I mean, we did mention the whole like, hey, can we make the like a a rough exchange system here to happen? Are they gonna like hold the gold for us or hold gold, copper? Not no, they included.
No, there's no copper.
There's no copper. It's like 10 copper, but it's in his belly. And it's like silver and gold. Is there?
So
Are they just gonna hold on to that for us?
That's
for
not
now?
something you've worked out yet. Presumably, like if you want them to hold your gold,
So
for
we're
you, like,
taking
that's a
all that weight
conversation.
with us too.
They will like inventory it with the rest of the stuff on the cart, but like in terms of using them as a bank to like store your money long term,
Right.
Sure.
like, that's something
Yeah,
you
I
have to
guess.
work
for
out.
I guess
that,
will they hold it
No.
while we
They're-
like
they're-
unload for
they're-
the second while we go to get the Chimera?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
they're
what
gonna.
have.
They said they're gonna put it in our room.
Yeah,
Okay.
like everything
In our
that's on
room.
the cart, including the like I don't know 200 pounds worth of coins, are going to be in the room that you are renting.
Okay.
That is being rented
Yep.
for you.
Who's gonna Italian
That-
job? us
that's-
and
that's what I
steal it
was
from
more
below?
worried about. That's what I was more worried about, and I just wanted to see like what the price of the cart was, since we don't really need anything else from said woodworker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
If we have the cart, then we're good.
Yeah.
All right, so shall we go track down this chimera, guys?
Yeah.
Well, let's ask Baron. Or we got the details. He lives in a cave.
Yeah, to the east.
We could use him as bait. Oh, that's an alignment check right there. That's a big old yikes for me.
Yep.
Oof.
As the GM takes a drink right there. He's
You
like,
could do a lot of things.
There's a
Um,
lot of things, and I'm sitting here going, you know what? I'm
I-
wasting these heal checks on you, Chief.
I
Should we-
should be able to track this monstrosity of a beast.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Because the tracks that it left from the road, if we go back to the road where we dumped that 30 pounds of meat,
Mhm.
I should be able to track it, correct, as a ranger?
Presumably, if anyone could, a ranger could.
I'll give you
Yeah,
guidance.
Certainly a beast
if it's,
master
if it's
one.
possible, I will give you guidance while we do those checks, so you can
All right.
help
Yes.
find it
So-
with super good abilities.
We have our items. We have a refilled. Did Morty get his med kit refilled?
Did you
Did we make?
pay the gold?
did we
to
make that
refill your
exchange?
med kit?
I assume we did. I
That's
just
fine.
I wrote
Yeah.
it down 1.5,
Yeah,
and
that's fine.
that includes a
Snapdragon
for
that we're coming
ownership
back.
of a
Snapdragon.
Snapdragon. Yeah.
Of a
Yeah,
Snapdragon.
that we're coming
Okay,
back for. We don't
I
have it
do, Yeah, well, it looks
You
like
own
your
one.
face,
You
it
do
looks
not
great.
currently possess it.
Yeah.
The
tell
Kickstarter
me
has
it.
not filled yet.
I will. I hope it's like spider kind of like the flowers just kind of keeps on happening, because then we can have so many horse snapdragon problems.
It could be very useful in eliminating.
It's like a
monsters.
It's like a turret almost.
a turret.
Like
It doesn't shoot
just
things.
go on a-
Anyway, yeah,
go
you,
find
the
chimera.
you follow
Oh,
the road.
I see where you're going with this.
We-
Where like you mount a crossbow, and then there's like a spider deposit that like lands a spider on the thing of the crossbow.
I
when the
was going that
Snapdragon
way,
go-
but
yeah,
it
okay.
sounds good.
I don't see where you're going with this. But
No,
Yeah, I don't
just-
either.
Sounds
we're-
I don't
really
have to.
convincing though.
When the snapdragon goes and yanks the spider, the force of the flower hits the trigger. Oh, I guess that would be really inaccurate, and there's no
You
way
know,
to reload it.
actually, the fact that we have just really crappy artillery sounds really good.
Let's go on an adventure.
Let's go.
We're
get
going
the
on an
chimera.
adventure.
We're going on an
Um,
adventure. Cue Lady Gaga.
We go back to the road where we dumped all the meat.
Oh God.
Yeah, you guys get
And
back to the
then-
road. You dump 40 pounds of meat. There's probably 10 pounds left, which strikes
thought
you
we
as
dumped-
concerning because not a lot of things eat 30 pounds of meat in a day.
Mhm.
Like 13 hours almost.
Yeah, but this one
Yeah.
did. And there's like a pretty clear trail into like the tall grass, but I will need you to make me a survival check to track this monstrosity back to its lair, keeping in mind
If-
you are at advantage for it being your favorite
Yep.
enemy.
So
Yeah, if I'm an outlander, does that help at all?
It helps you with mapping and stuff, I think, right? It gives you a mental map of the region. Is that right?
Yeah, like I'm able to remember terrain really well.
Sure. So that's largely, I mean, like if you needed to have help getting back to the road where you like dump the meat, that's fine. You haven't been to this layer, so you don't have like a mental map of the layer itself.
Makes sense.
But it will
Okay.
help you like remember where stuff is in relationship to each other.
Okay, so it's just a straight survival check, right?
Yeah. Well, for him,
Okay.
it's an advantage because he's a ranger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But we're all
So-
making this check, right?
No, just him.
Oh, okay.
Just me. Well, I might need some assistance because I rolled a 10 with my.
I'm
+6.
proficient. I can help.
A 10.
I thought you rolled that advantage.
I did.
Well, then that's
Uh,
all the
I'm-
help you get, right?
I mean, you do have 9 bennies. That
Yeah,
you
so use a
could-
benny.
I'm
Go for it.
proficient. Can
Are
I?
you-
Does that help?
It would if he didn't already have advantage.
Yeah,
It would give him
Oh.
advantage,
exactly,
but he
yeah.
already has it. Do you want to use
Okay.
a Benny to increase your chances of being successful, Dimitri?
I think so.
I think we
Go
should
for it.
probably do that since so we can find this thing.
Yeah. Let's re-roll these.
Okay.
$23.
Perfect.
better.
So I will subtract that Benny for you. You were down
Mm-hmm.
to 8. The DC was 8, and you managed to track your way to the cavern.
Wait, the DC was 8, and I
Yeah,
rolled a
but he
10,
doesn't
you're-
tell us that. Yeah, he doesn't tell us that until we decide to use a Benny. That's how it works.
Yeah,
Ah,
you gotta
all right.
make a choice.
Bamboozled.
The DC was 8 because there's like hunks of meat that like were clearly dropped from this flying creature.
We're
that
we're
you can, like-
adventurers. We're not afraid to use bennies.
right, you can smell your way to this lair based off the hunks of like hot meat in the sun.
That's
And you manage to get to a lair. It's a pretty large cave structure. There's tall grass kind of all around you. How do you want to proceed?
Do we hear anything?
Make a perception check.
Okay.
Can I give him guidance?
Sure.
Does that cost you anything?
No, it's a cantrip for him.
I,
Oh,
just-
okay, cool.
I don't want to be abusive. That's why.
I would say that like he's actively trying to perceive things, so you can like you have time to. Be
I mean, I
like,
could give him advantage, but I feel like that's kind of weird to like be like, "Hey, you should look over there." I don't like that.
Dirty 20.
yeah, you don't hear anything. It's like kind of midday-ish.
Can someone else like look around or in the sky or anything?
With
Yeah.
my knowledge of monstrosities, do I know if they sleep during the day?
Typically, based off your interaction with them last night, you get the idea that this one is nocturnal. Probably, it might not necessarily sleep in its lair every night. Typically, when you are the alpha predator in the region, you don't have to worry about trivial things like the protection of
Shelter.
shelters. And this would definitely—it's a huge three-headed monstrosity creature. It doesn't have to worry about it. So it could just be the lair is empty currently and it's out hunting or whatever.
But we got the idea it's nocturnal.
Could be.
So
it could
it would be
sleeping.
It would be
somewhere
sleeping.
else.
Do we still have fire bombs?
Are you trying to get a price for the fire bombs, or are you trying to
I-
keep the fire bombs?
I think we would have been keeping the fire bombs with
Yeah,
us
I say
because
I-
Kim was
Yeah.
highly interested in them.
That's
yeah.
fine.
Give
Then yes, you have
dropping
3 fire
bombs.
bombs.
Okay. So we could just firebomb the bleep out of this cave.
We want if you and I talked to Kim, I'm like, didn't we want to bring the Chimera back though? If we blow it up,
Oh,
then there's nothing to bring back.
But
yeah, that's
if
true.
the cave is empty, we can take all the gold. It's gonna come back and be upset. We can leave a trap for it to weaken it,
It's true.
or we can just kill it and have raining chimera pieces, and we just kind of get rid of the burn marks and bring them back to Roscoe's.
Can I tell by inspecting the area that it frequents the cave? Like, can I tell by
definitely.
looking
Yeah,
around?
there's there's bipedal and quadrupedal claw marks in the ground. So clearly you get and they look to be of the same creature. So clearly this is can move similar to like a bear or like an ape, where like It is a quadrupedal creature that can operate bipedally as well.
It could be a cat.
You should think of the chimeras from Final Fantasy when you think of bipedal / quadrupedal chimeras.
Right.
Yeah.
I never
I'm-
played
I'm-
Final Fantasy, so
I'm down to just go into the cave.
Sure.
But that's
Yeah, sure.
yeah,
dark.
kind of am too.
I got dark vision.
I could see in the cave too.
Sure.
I pull a torch out.
Sure. Yeah, you guys can see in the cave, and it does appear to be empty. There is a huge midden of like bones that have been picked pretty clean in the corner. And as you look around, it is very clear that you have entered a chimera's home.
But
But
hope
it
that
is
we're
not
safely
here.
putting away.
Is it
Jeffrey.
like, is there like a picture on the side that says home, 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 sweet, 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 home, home, home?
No. But you get the idea that like all the telltale
bad.
signs are there. There's like scorch marks on one of the cave walls.
They live, laugh,
Is there
love.
like I know that there's bones that have been picked clean, but is there like other stuff that's been thrown to the side that clearly wasn't edible for the chimera, like maybe money?
Not thrown to the side in the pile of bones. It looks like there is stuff. And then like kind of in that same pile of bones is some scat that Spit, you're very familiar with this notion. Presumably like in that scat there could be valuable things as well.
Yep.
But there's a pile of bones and stuff. And poop.
Yeah, I'd like to look through all that stuff and just start like digging around, because it's stuff that I used to do either
Cool.
for adventures in the mountains that end up kind of perishing, and also, just sifting through things and digging.
I'll just keep watch while he does that.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make an investigation check as you like pour yourself through the bones and poop.
Yeah. That's a 15.
You take like a half hour or so to get a pretty good inventory, and you find quite a bit of coinage, mostly in the scat. You find 3 healing potions, and you take 4 points of slashing damage because
Okay.
as you're digging, your hand like slices along a short sword, kind of buried in the bones, and you pull it out and you're like, oh, ow, ow. And then you look and you're like, oh, that's a really nice short sword. That's interesting. We should keep an eye on that.
Yeah. Is it possible for me to have quick reacted to that to have that damage?
I'm going to say no,
That's what I
because you have to
figured.
see it, right? To do that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And if you
here
had
it was
seen
just in
it, you
poop.
wouldn't have cut your hand in the first place.
That's a good
Uh,
point. Yep.
Yeah. The other 3 of you, what are you doing while Spit is rummaging?
I'm specifically keeping watch because I don't want this thing getting the jump on us while we're going through poop.
So while he is doing that, is it possible to like start setting up a trap for the chimera? Like,
Sure. What kind of trap would you like to set up?
can I just do like the giant box with like the string that we pull away?
Do you have
No.
the materials for a giant box with a string that you'll pull away?
No, I do not.
Sounds nice though.
Like I'll just be looking around to try and figure out like when it can I like inspect the area to see if it's been here recently, like
Sure.
a time type thing.
Yeah, make an investigation check.
Investigation. All
And I'll
right.
give you advantage on this because it's a.
You'll give me advantage?
Yeah.
19.
Sure. So you get the idea it's been here within the last like 3 or 4 hours, because there is some warm poop by the entrance of this cave, and you you kind of like poke at it, and you realize there's like something firm, like in the poop, and you poke at it a little bit more, and you see a like a potion bottle. And it's covered in excrement. I don't know if you want to like clean it up or just kind of leave it, or let Spit handle the whole cleaning component.
Drink it.
Oh,
Drink the magic mystery potion.
It is. It looks to be orange in color from what you can see. Like
The poop covered
through
one.
through
Probably
the
a-
poop specs.
probably a potion of fire breathing.
That would be monster. That would be so
Combined with
cool.
like the
No.
methane gas. Yeah.
Yeah, well, since Spit is
I-
because Spit's going to be busy for a while. Isn't he?
Oh yeah. 30 minutes is a.
So I'll take the effort to retrieve this potion and clean it up.
Sure, it is an orange
think-
potion.
It is an orange potion. One orange potion. I'll add that to my inventory.
Morty,
guess-
what are you doing?
I think I'm in the hurrah phase because like I don't like it going like you can do it, guys, because I don't know if I want to get involved in the poop.
Sure.
I
probably
think that
don't.
sounds less than great.
Yep. And I
Um,
poke my head out like splatters of and
and-
flecks that brown, and
and
I'd be
I'm
like,
kinda-
"Don't worry, I've got it."
I'm not gonna be like the whole like hoity-toity, but I'm like, yikes! Like that's not amazing. And I think my big concern is almost in the same realm that Dimitri had of like, when was it last year? And it might split between Dimitri and Kiv of like, when was it last year? Does it make sense that it was here a couple hours ago, according to Dimitri, or is there like a pattern? Is there like lines of like could we expect it anytime soon? Kind
Sure.
of thing.
So it's because of the nature of this monstrosity, it's tough to
Sure.
know.
yeah,
Right? Like magic affects things in various ways.
Mhm.
Typically things sleep for like long periods and then are awake for long periods, but like maybe because of the three consciousnesses of this thing, it sleeps 2 hours at a time. It's tough to know. Right?
So
Yeah.
does it have a nest area?
I was going
yeah,
to
the
say, like, are
bones.
we now that we're in the cave, like, is this as far back as we can go where we find this stuff, or is there still like a ways back that we can
Is
go?
it, like,
no,
two
you are in
rooms?
like the back corner of the cave when you get to
Okay.
the bones. Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Because it clearly like pulls its food in as far as it can to protect it. and
Is
then
there
eats
anything
there.
in the nesting area that's like clearly undisturbed, or like I don't want to say like a banky or what we want to call it, like a kid's toy or a kid's something like.
Mhm.
Is there something that it is actively like keeping alive, or even not say alive, but like
Intact.
around intact, like a superbly immaculate orc skull? Like, is there anything that it clearly is like in the nest that's there?
Not that. Make an insight check.
Sure.
And then
Natural 20. Come on, useless roll. Come on.
I mean, a couple of them. have
19.
happened.
Let's go. Let's see what he's got here. One particularly 6 foot long branch.
It's
Let's
a total
go.
of 19.
Yeah, it's a total of 19.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's anything that's like in a protected location here.
Dang,
it
I'd
seems
really
like
love
this
to
is
have,
just
like chimeras.
like just a
Banky.
wild chimera, like a wild monstrosity that this is its lair, and it as much as it's not just a beast, it is comprised of beasts and has like bestial instincts, right? And so like it just see.
Can I make one step further, maybe, if it's allowed? So, knowing the information from Roscoe of being like, these things it could be a completely rampantly wild thing with energy that just happens versus a wizard's
Mhm.
wildly rampant thing that happens. Is there anything small or large, whether it be I guess what I'm looking for is there anything to justify this thing's creation?
Sure. I'll let you keep that 19 investigation for that. As you're like investigating the cavern, you find one more healing potion, so a total of 4 healing potions. But you
We
don't
coming
don't
out
find
flush.
anything. You don't find anything that seems to be an indication of like it having a master or an owner or a handler of any kind. It looks like maybe at one point this creature was created, but if so, you don't find any evidence at this point that whatever created it is still impacting its life in any way.
So now a D&D question.
Mhm.
As a ranger, I have primeval awareness.
Primeval awareness.
Primordial.
Yeah.
So if we know the pieces of the chimera and if it matches any of the types, would I be able to sense that chimera within the radius?
Make a nature check.
Make a nature check. So this is if I expend it to do that.
No, make a nature check to know
Okay.
if you would be able to detect one of those parts.
Okay. So just a D20. 11.
11. So, what is the range of primeval awareness?
1 mile.
1 mile. You get the idea, like, so normally, no, right? Like, normally in 5th edition, like, it is considered a monstrosity. If you don't have an ability that allows you to detect monstrosities, you wouldn't be able to do it. Are you expending primeval awareness?
No, I was just asking about it to see if that. But are you?
I offered you the roll for a reason. So are you expending primeval awareness?
I will expend primeval awareness at the level 1 slot.
So within 1 mile,
Yes.
you detect. It's not a strong presence, but there is some sort of draconic presence nearby. Dragons are one of those things, right, that you can pick up.
Yes.
Yeah. It doesn't appear to be like a full dragon. It seems like more of like a drake, a guard drake or an ambush drake or something. And it seems like that is, and it's like interfered with other things. So it seems like that is probably the creature you are looking for.
Yeah.
It is within 1 mile.
It's within 1 mile. Can I
Kiv,
sense which
make me a
direction?
perception check.
Me?
Yeah, you give.
Okay.
Because
I give
Kiv is watching.
any kind of. Can I give any little like level of perception check? Because I was like saying like, hey, I'm like looking at certain things. Would that be allowed?
That would
You're
be a
currently
10.
investigating the cavern.
I said no because I was looking more like the broadly. If not, that's fine. I was just asking.
That would be a 10.
10.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm
Yikes.
real observant.
so, Kiv, it's within 6 miles for primeval awareness.
It's if it's in my favored terrain.
What is your favorite terrain?
It is
Swamps.
Swamps.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
no,
play
so
land.
1 mile.
That was a guess. That's even gets better.
No, it
No,
totally
I-
makes sense.
I
based on your
think it is
heritage.
swamps. Let me.
So, Kiv, I have good news and bad news.
Cool.
The good
Ready.
news is that roll is good enough. The bad news is it's because the chimera is coming home. And you hear the telltale signs of 3 independent creatures roaring out on its way home. Sounds like maybe it's they, it. Is there a term for both
The-
plural and singular?
Them.
It
Them.
sounds
Them.
like the
Them.
conglomerate itself has picked up
congealment.
the congealment has picked up
Congealment
the
of
scent of
horses.
something,
Okay.
and that something might be you.
So
Aw.
I'm going to quietly, I guess, sort of in like a quick whisper, tell people, like, okay, like make way, get out of the way, get against the walls, and then I'm going to cast invisibility on myself.
Okay.
How? And I whisper like, how far is it? Like, how quickly is it getting here?
Shut up!
And
It's like right
and
here.
as you say, how far away is it? You hear the telltale sounds of wings flapping pretty much right outside the mouth of this cave. And then, more frighteningly, you see as like the sunlight from behind this beast shines past it. You see the silhouette of this like burly, huge, three-headed monster roar out, and you see like a puff of flame erupt from a wolf's head, and then you see like a bluish blast of like almost smoke erupt.
Hide in the poop. Hide in the poop.
Erupt from
Y'all are small. Hide in the poop.
from the bull's head,
In the
and
poop.
it's suddenly much cooler in here.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that is where we will leave off until next time
Get in the
when
poop.
we go over the Chimera battle in the red.
Yeah.
We gotta do
Ooh,
this thing
big
now.
cliffhanger.
We gotta do this. We gotta high five each other from. No, all right.
Oh wait,
I thought you were doing
I'm
like
over
ninja
here.
poses from Power Rangers, but that's fine.
Oh wait. So it would be opposite. It would be. Let's see. Let's see if I get
Gotta-
this.
Oh, I'm actually getting it right. Oh, I guessed. I
I was gonna say,
completely guessed.
Look at the
So-
At the chat.
at
At
so-
the
Twitch.
Here's the issue: is you guys are doing it right for the Zoom call, but that's not where the
I'm
captures
totally-
are on Twitch.
no,
Yeah, no,
we're
I'm
totally
doing
doing
it
it
Skip and
right.
Dimitri
Yeah.
have got it down. Jake, I don't know
I'm
what you're
working on
doing.
I'm struggling.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us for another episode of In the Red. I have not been paying attention to Twitch chat to know what kind of audience we had.
got some
Looks like
people.
some, so I'm happy. Whatever.
Yeah.
We had a good time either way. Join us in 2 weeks for the next episode in the Red. That will be June 25th. Will be the next episode of In the Red. I apologize for not putting out communications. We canceled Bard's Tale on Tuesday. I am in the process of revamping kind of everything about that game, just because it seems a little tone deaf currently. So I'm working on making that a game that I can be kind of excited to run at this time. My expectation is that'll pick up on the 23rd in 2 weeks from last Tuesday. Thank you to the players for hanging out. Hopefully you guys had fun. I know it's another housekeeping episode, but I enjoyed
It was a fun
so
episode.
If no one else does, at least I get to be happy.
We're horse merchants.
Horse
We're
merchants.
forced merchant.
So
Um,
I got a serious question.
Mhm.
What are those other guys' names?
You
don't know?
didn't ask
You
them.
haven't found out?
Gosh darn it!
We're
That's
asking
it.
these
That's what's
juicy
happened.
questions after
That's-
Chimera.
I
Here,
feel like
if
that's
you
in the middle of
survive-
Chimera battle, it's kind of like this. It's kind of like you see him go like you see like a hand come out of the poop. It's like, and you hear. It's just like
If you
me being
survive
upset.
through Chimera poop
Yeah,
and the Chimera, you can ask them next time.
that's a good idea.
Next
Yeah.
time on In the Red.
In the red.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Okay, bye everyone.